let's start with our star boy Bukayo Saka. Now, school me on this. You said you come across some list which was talking about the valuation of players.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of research. Well, it came across my timeline as it does. So there's this it's like I guess a foundation, but they call themselves the where is it now? Here. The official account for the CIES, which is basically the International Center for Sports Studies, a group within the Football Observatory. They put together this list of the most valuable players. They use all these statistical, quantitative methods to basically put together some sort of list of the most valuable players. And this came out recently, so a lot of people are looking at it, and it's put our star boy Bukayo Saka as the third most valuable player of this time so far. And that's at, if I can find it, is at about 195.8 million euros.
Cool, blimey, mate, geezer. 198 million euros.
Euros, yeah.
Bukayo Saka,
So that's how much, I think the contract extension came into play and everything like that. But as of now, as of the 5th of June, that was his value as a player, which, I mean, this is above Jude Bellingham, above Pedri, Gavi, Foden, Musiala, even Mbappe. Martinelli's on the list as well. He looks to be in around the 10 to 20 mark. But yeah, that is, he's only bettered by Vinicius Jr. and obviously Erling Haaland. Now, it depends how much you want to read into these sort of things. There was also a list about the most valuable goalkeepers. Ramsdale was top of that list at about 79 million euros. So obviously that's above everyone. Your Alissons, your Edersons, Ter Stegen, Neuer, all those kind of guys as well. Martinelli, like I said, is between the 10 to 20. I think there was one other person. I don't know if it was Ben White or somebody else. But there was a couple Arsenal guys who were... Odegaard, was quite high on the list as well. And I guess for me, it was just more, focusing on Saka. Is he the best right winger? Is he the best right winger in world football, in Europe? I know people say or listen to this and be like, as Arsenal fans, being Arsenal fans, has he even done this? Has he even done that? But again, I always name me 3 better wingers than him.
So are we talking about what people have already achieved, or like just how they play football, full stop?
I mean, I think the achievement thing, I think while it is important, I think when you're having discussions about players and their ability and stuff, you've got to throw all that stuff away, even stats to an extent, because you can have players who can play in better teams and have better output. I think we kind of come from an age where we just stylistically used to just fall in love with players, going back to Figo and Zidane and, even these players who you'd say was like mid-tier at the time, like maybe like a Rui Costa, or like a Recoba. I mean, some people might rate these players higher, but there were so many players. But now it's all about goals, assists, successful passes. It's very, very stats driven. Where now it's just like, I still kind of come from that holistic point of view, where it's just like, when you look at this player, what does he give you? You know what I mean? And I think with Saka, that's something which we get. Of course, you could probably find a right winger in world football who's got better stats in terms of finishing, or goals and assists and stuff like that. But his all-round play, the way this guy plays football, you just feel like you can pick up Saka and drop him in any era, and he's gonna ball out. So I don't know if I would even say he's the best right winger. I'd probably have to really sit down and look. But the first person that came to my mind was Vinicius, and I was like, oh no, Vinicius plays on the left. So I don't know.
I would say, if we're talking about the best right winger, and firstly, I want to use this word because I don't use this word at all. When you say 198 million, staggering. That is a staggering price.
Staggering price.
Like, honestly. No, we're talking right wingers, right? Like Mo Salah, obviously we know he's got a Premier League, he's got a Champions League under his belt, fantastic player, great goal scorer. Probably better goal scorer than a all-round player, but you know, that's up for debate. Rodrigo at Real Madrid, I can't talk too much on general play. Obviously, man's got hella Champions Leagues under his belt at this tender age already, but general play, I just don't watch enough of him to really make a judgment. Riyad Mahrez is someone I would personally throw in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Serial Premier League winner at this point, Leicester and Man City. Won Champions League, you know, and a night ago at time of recording. So there's him as well. Then there's other people that, again, there's the conversation: are they a left, you know, winger or a right winger? There's a couple names in and around, but you know, Saka, firstly, I think has to be. He wins the award for the most entertaining, I would say, of all of these names we're mentioning. Is he the best in the world right now is the question. I mean, I'm tempted to say at least on a right now basis, yes. Like, again, like you said, there's achievement, previous attainment, and all that other kind of stuff that would have to come into the conversation. But if he's finishing, and obviously this list was put together by an independent body, like you're saying, if he's finishing third on that list, like, come on, like
this is what I'm saying.
That's one metric of determining, well, there's no right winger on that list that's above him. So, you know, we may just have the best right winger in the world right now in Arsenal Football Club.
This is it. And, you know, I mean, I don't even want to kind of do this in a sense where it's like, we're not, you know what, this isn't a podcast where we explain ourselves in terms of, we're not here to say, yeah, we think that, but we're just going to say what it is. But maybe this will be the first and last time. We all going to look at football differently. We are Arsenal fans. This is an Arsenal podcast, obviously, but we're going to decide how we decide to look at things in terms of, like, you know, just how we experience football and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to come for no energy where it's just like, oh yeah, but has he won any Premier Leagues, or Salah dragged his team to this? Listen, dead all that. You know what I mean? I just think, you know, going back to Saka, again, like you said, the most entertaining. When you're looking at technique, when you're looking at his level at his age, you know what I mean? There's so many things where you can definitely throw him into that conversation. Of course, when you think about Mahrez and, you know, a player I really like, Salah as well, who's an excellent goal scoring winger and things like that as well, you know, or like, you know, people calling him like winger forwards, you know, whatever, you know, the in term is now. But I just think you can't not put him in that discussion at the very least. You know, you can't not. If somebody said it, it's one of those things that you wouldn't be like, nah, you know, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, nah, sorry, I'm not having that. You would be open-minded enough to think, yeah, you know what, yeah, I could understand that. Of course, like we could probably say with a lot of top players, they do start adding accolades to the greatness, you know. It'd probably be very hard to come across some players, maybe minus Harry Kane, who have obviously reached a level but haven't had the team trophies to kind of back that up. But you know, I think with Saka it's literally a matter of time, and I think, you know, the thing where a player kind of lifts the level of a team, like, oh, if a team was struggling in mediocrity like Arsenal was for many years, I think a player like him can just come and push it above. And sometimes you need people in and around to do that, and I think that's the point, because we had Ozil, we had Sanchez, we had Aubameyang, all these kind of players who take your team to the next level, who try to push you through, but maybe at the time we just didn't surround them with enough talent to help them do that. Now I feel like we're getting to a point where we're doing that, and I think those people, most importantly, will help Saka indefinitely become the best right winger in the world.
Yeah, and if those players aren't currently at Arsenal, it doesn't look like we're very shy about bringing them into Arsenal. You mentioned Harry Kane. As you know, no one's going to say Harry Kane's not one of the best strikers in the world just because he hasn't won, you know, some type of trophy. Saka's at least won, you know, a minor cup, an FA Cup or something like that at Arsenal, you know, in his earlier days, number 77 and all that. But like, he's won it, that, you know. So yeah, the big trophies, like you said, are definitely due to come. With the likes of Harry Kane, like we're saying, like, yeah, you just have to this is where you can't necessarily say, oh, it's down to what they've won and whatever, because there will be a lot of players, past and present, that will be discounting them because they never done
100%,
won a big one. So I think it's the Saka, best right winger in the world, playing in the Premier League, playing for Arsenal, and hopefully we can get even more out of him in the next season.
Definitely.